So first and foremost, wow. Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today we are going to do a non-spoiler review over the movie Avengers Infinity War. And when I say non-spoiler review, I mean non-spoiler review. You guys that haven't seen the movie yet are not going to be spoiled in any kind of way. I just want to keep it very simple. So first and foremost, let's talk about the acting and the performances in the movie. I think for the most part, everyone did a really great job. There wasn't a moment where someone was speaking a few lines and I was pulled out of the movie. I don't know. I just really think genuinely that everyone brought something different to the table and everyone did a really good job just performing. And I don't know. I mean, we've been on this journey with most of these characters for 10 years. So it feels good to see these characters meet each other and like see how, you know, this character interacts with this character. Like maybe you get some laughs, maybe you get some sass. And so for me, just having been a part of this whole thing for 10 years it was really exciting to see certain characters interact as well, say. With all of these big name actors and all of these big characters, I do think that the Russo brothers did a really good job with pairing certain characters and certain actors in certain scenes, because maybe this actor was lacking in this area, but this actor was able to like pick that back up. Or maybe, I don't know, it just added something to the plot, having these three characters or these two characters meet or whatever. So I definitely think they did a great job with pairing those actors up. One thing I will say is, there were some actors, and you guys know this always happens whenever you have a really large cast. Some of the actors just kind of fall to the wayside, and it's not their fault actually. It's not even like the performances or anything like that. They were able to deliver, but in terms of like wanting more dialogue from certain characters or being able to see this certain character a little more, it does become a little bit more difficult when you have these really large casts. But I feel like they did the best they could with, you know, giving everybody some screen time. I'll definitely say that. This kind of jumps into editing a bit, but I am happy that the way that they cut the movie with these certain actors, there wasn't a point where you just felt uninterested with it about a certain group. Like I feel if they left a certain group and then we checked in on someone else, it was still very much so like you were invested. You still were invested on what was going on here versus what was going on there. So that was something I was definitely worried about. Like, am I going to forget about these characters that are doing this while I'm paying attention to what Thanos is doing? You know what I mean? So I am happy that, I don't know, that throughout the whole movie, there wasn't a moment where I was bored or uninterested. I was just, I don't know, I was invested every single minute of the movie. I think the editing was well done. The CG wasn't anything that would pull you out of it. I feel like it was very clean and there was nothing in the movie in terms of like CG and editing that was overdone or unnecessary. I feel that they were really trying to focus on the main thing at hand, like what we all know this movie is going to be about. Will Thanos get these Infinity Stones? Or yeah, will Thanos get these Infinity Stones? That's the whole like purpose of this movie, and as we see in the trailer. So I feel like they really focus on that, and they're not necessarily trying to just add all this I don't know, special extravagant effects and things like that. Everything they do is necessary, drives the plot, and I don't know, it's actually pretty awesome to see. You know how you edit fight scenes. There is a lot of cutting when it comes to these fight scenes these days and these types of movies, but it wasn't distracting. So if that's something you're worried about, you will definitely not be distracted during any of those sequences. This movie was ballsy. This movie had some balls. It was very like bold, I'll say that. And a lot of the things that they did in order to reach a certain goal in the movie or to like elicit a certain reaction from the audience, I feel like they went there, is what I'll say, without giving anything away. They take risks that we haven't seen before, and I feel like that's always refreshing when we see not necessarily the same thing just kind of play out, but whenever we see some of the same characters make some of the same decisions or make similar decisions. For me, I enjoyed every minute of it. There was never, ever a moment where I was displeased with something. No matter what happened, I felt that I don't know, that I appreciated that they were able to kind of like make moves, and like that they were just able to push everything aside and say, hey, you know what? We're doing this, and that's the end of it. And I just keep saying the word brave. I just feel like the plot is very brave. Now, whether the plot stays true to the comics or not, I'm going to be very hush hush on that because I don't want to give anything away. That's something you'll have to like check out for yourself whenever you do see the movie, or maybe whenever I do my spoiler review video. I'm all about like movies taking risks that will make you feel uncomfortable, because we're used to certain things going a certain way, or maybe some things not going a certain way, and then when things are kind of like altered, you're just immediately shook. And I feel like the music was a weird juxtaposition to how the audience was feeling. So I don't know, it put me in that weird mindset of really liking that song. So I don't know, like if you're not really into seeing the movie and you're more of a music person, I would definitely check out the movie score for Avengers Infinity War. So how did I feel about this movie, and how should you feel about this movie? I experienced so many different emotions. It was just like the perfect mix of what a movie should be. Like you have your highs, your lows, your laughs, maybe your tears, depending on how you feel about certain things. You have your anger, you have your hope, you have your disappointment. It was just a little bit of everything wrapped into the movie without it being a mess. And I know some movies try to execute like all of those emotions and send you on this nice roller coaster, and sometimes things get a little muddy. Like you're not sure how you're supposed to feel at the end of the movie, but in a bad way. With this, I knew how I felt, and then at the same time I didn't know how I felt because I don't know, it was just so much had happened. But I feel like for those of you who will go see this movie, or those of you who are thinking about it, like one of my friends said, just forget everything you think you know, or everything you think that's gonna happen. Maybe some of those things will come to pass, maybe they won't, but just go in with an open mind and just know that, hey, what you're thinking may or may not happen. Now, the age-old question: should you go see Avengers Infinity War if it's not obvious already? Obviously, you should go see this movie. You should go see this movie twice. I got to see it twice, and it was the most beautiful experience of my life. Just both times were really, really amazing. So what am I going to rate Avengers Infinity War? 5 out of 5 geeks. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like rating down below and leave me a comment. Have you seen the movie yet? Were you shocked? Were you not shocked? Definitely, if you're gonna leave a spoiler, which I prefer you don't in the comments, definitely leave a spoiler tag so that way you don't ruin the movie. And the reason I stress that so much is because I've literally had the movie ruined for me, at least this close, at least 2 or 3 times. And it's one of those things where somebody's excited and they post something on Snapchat, or someone tells you something cryptic, but it still gives a lot away. So definitely just don't leave any spoilers if you can. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more videos like this one. And if you're already subscribed, then just hit that notification bell so you can get a notification every time I upload a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.